like he dove into the water. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Greetings, all. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the CnU Creative Spotlight, where we bring the amazing creatives from around the world straight to you. As always, I'm your boy, Chris. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CreativesNearU, and check out our website, www.creativesnearu.com. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit that bell so you never miss a future episode. As always, we bring the amazing creatives from around the world straight to you, and today is no exception. And we are talking to the beautiful, the talented, the extraordinary Sqootie Jackson. She is a musician, producer, and songwriter. Her album Purple Love just came out. Make sure you check that out on all streaming platforms. Sqootie Jackson, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
What's going on, Chris?
Oh, same old, same old. So happy to have you here on the show finally. We want to make sure that our audience knows as much about you as possible. So this is your time to shine. Please tell them about Sqootie Jackson. They want to know.
Well, I'm Sqootie Jackson. I just recently released my EP, Purple Love, and it took me a while to create it, but I'm very happy about the process and the journey. It took me 6 years. It was my college thesis. And, in college, everything is rush, and, you're just working with a lot of people and you're learning about yourself. And I just felt when I released the project, my thesis was very well put together, but the project itself, I didn't feel was complete or had the proper recognition. So I put it to myself to continue the work and finish it. The whole process was a learning experience for me because it was the first time where I had to just be an artist. I had to really not make the beat. Don't go in there and record everything, I had to really have a lot of self-control and learn how to venture into other aspects of my artistry and to focus more on who I am as a person and as an artist and who I want to be. So that was what my thesis was about. So now, 6 years later, Purple Love is complete and finished, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very proud of it. And I went through a lot of new things, and I added new songs, and had different perspectives and outlooks on things. So it was very exciting to have the whole 6 years of my going through in a completed project. And now it's out and for everyone to enjoy. And I hope everyone feels something. I want some people to feel and to experience a moment in time.
I hear you. I mean, I've listened to the whole album. Obviously, you definitely blast it out for you. Make sure we get it in front of as many people as possible. What I found really interesting about it is I could hear that evolution. Some of these songs I remember hearing back, our days in Bloomfield, and where we met. What an amazing time that was. Kind of just this smorgasbord of creatives from all different points of view and different skills, kind of serving as a foundation for what CnU is. And I just remember, seeing you in the live room just with your guitar and just kind of singing your songs, and your voice was so powerful, and it always drew a crowd. What was it like to kind of step back from being the type of artist you were back then and trying to evolve within these last 6 years? What have you learned along the way, and how has it changed your music?
A lot of things have happened. And it changed. Well, I'll start by how it changed my music. It changed my music in a way where I become more of myself, more uninhibited, more authentic, and I just really just wanted to just be comfortable with myself. My biggest journey in my life has been accepting, being okay with being too much. For whoever the fuck, and that's always been my challenge, because I know that I'm a very intense person to be around, and you have to really do your best around it. And a lot of people, I had to learn to be. It's okay to want to work hard and do your best, and it's okay to think big and have big ideas and express yourself. Everyone's not going to like it, and if it's too much for them, they can go away.
Well, I mean, we work at a different speed, I feel, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's one thing that always drew me to you, is that you always had this ambition, that you always kind of knew where you wanted to end up, and you were very comfortable with taking the necessary steps to get there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
whatever
but this aspect of my journey had nothing to do with the music. It had to do all with me as a person, and
okay.
just me and my insecurities, and building courage, and being brave enough to take risks and be different.
Right.
Being comfortable with being strange, and being aware of oneself. So that was really my journey, and where I am now in music. I tell my stories, and it's good to look back, and I'm looking at it now. I'm just like, oh, so that's what I was talking about. Or like, wow, like I was really so ruined, but the whole project is just, it's purple love. Just for me, it's royal love, a truest love, and that's the good and the bad. So I put myself out there and tell my stories to show we are not alone, and to just tell where I've been going through. I love hard, I love deep, I hurt, I resurrect, and I learn to accept myself. I learn things about myself, and I learn to love myself more in order for me to love again. And so that's what the whole project is about. It's just the cycles of love, and being able to talk about the problems, talk about oneself, and be able to start again.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that kind of brings up to me, like, your new video, On My Mind. I've watched it a bunch of times. I love how it was shot. I love how, like, just how it tells the story of these two people that, are just loving each other and embracing each other. And, this, love can be obsessive in its own way. You know what I mean? That you just, something you can never step away from. It was one thing, like I said, like Purple Love. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I've always just identified you with that term, because it's something that I've only heard from you. So I'm glad that you kind of elaborated on what that is a little bit, because I think that a lot of people will see that, and it's just like, I wonder what exactly that expression really means. Through your whole process, one of the things as well that I really enjoy about you is that you tap into a lot of different genres in your music. I feel like I don't feel like you confine yourself to a certain box, so like, what are some of the influences that has like kind of pushed you along throughout your life, like the things that kind of make you inspired and that has kind of shaped your musical preference?
Well, I would say for beginners, just the things around me, my environment, my personal experiences through life have shaped the music that I listen to. And, I'm drawn to deep things, dark things, light things. I like a lot of rock and roll, a lot of funk, groove. I like a lot of old music. I like Minnie Riperton, Simone, Aretha Franklin, Etta James, Betty Davis. You know, I like how they give it. You know, um, Jimi Hendrix. P Funk. You know, I like a lot of things. I can't really even, you know, to say that was just my top. Like I like all type of things. And I'm most of my I don't when I create music, and I don't really think about what kind of song I'm gonna make. I think about how do I want to feel, like what am I going through right now. and the energy presents itself through me. Um, and if it's this genre, that genre, that's what it is. But as long as it's raw, I like it raw. I want it to be whatever it's going to be. I don't really create the music; it creates through me.
I hear you. Yeah, I'm the same way in that way, that it's kind of like I never sit down and say I'm gonna write about this. It's kind of like I'll start like humming out a song or kind of just playing my guitar, and the words will kind of just come naturally. And then once I kind of get a sense of where the song is taking me, the rest of the song will form itself, you know. That's really exciting. You know, I think what's also cool is that like your music translates really well to like a live setting in like you know, full band type of drums, guitar, pianos type of setups, and also kind of like unplugged little intimate acoustic settings. Are you excited to kind of step back out and perform again now that things are kind of opening back up and we're trying to get back to normal life?
I'm still trying to figure out the kinks in this quarantine world now. But I am very excited to get back out there and perform. It's been a while. And I think a lot of artists are trying to just figure out 2021 and figure out their new thing. For me, I'm excited. I love the band stuff, but where I'm at right now, I don't really care to be in a band right now. I invested a lot of time into people and bands and trying to get people together and get people passionate about their work. Um, and where I'm at right now, I just want to focus on me and focus on recreating myself and recreating a new act. Now that Purple Love is done, I'd like to focus more on club music, house music. Is something where I really feel alive. Um, but I'm going to continue to push Purple Love. But I'm definitely working on a project right now. I've been working on another project in the meantime while I've been finishing Purple Love, and it's a house project. All the beats are created by myself, and all the music is me. And I just really wanted to put myself out there. I really feel like I'm my fullest self in house music.
All right.
It's very exciting and
That's
fun for
hype.
me.
I love that. That's
So
great.
I'm just trying new stuff and trying to move with the times and learn and teach myself new things. I definitely didn't waste this time. I learned a lot about myself, even, taking care of myself, my health, learning how to love myself and be happy. And I think that's very important as an artist because we focus on trying to be seen and be successful. But what is success really? You have to ask yourself. I think that's a personal question for every individual. Everyone's success is not the same. Success for me is being happy and being whole,
Mm,
um, and being loved and
mm,
being able to love. And that for me is success.
mm,
Um, and then because I believe all of those things will bring the music, the success, the drive.
yeah,
Um, that is for me.
yeah, yeah. It all comes full circle at some point. You know?
Yeah,
It's just like, you
exactly.
know, it's like how can we create? You know, music is such a personal thing, and it comes from inside of us. And if you know, so surprisingly, people take tragedy, and some people take that pain and they manifest it in a positive way, which is great as well. But I think coming from where the things that are most passionate to you, love, appreciation, you know, that type of experience, I think it's really good that you were able to use, you know, this kind of time, this crazy time we're in, to do something positive for yourself and kind of bring yourself back to square one so that you can kind of push your art forward, you know.
I mean, well, for me, it's only forward. It's only way is forward for me. Um, from where I come from, where and the things that I've endured to get here.
Right.
Um, I only see up for me.
That's great.
Um, Even just you have to really like as you work hard and you take risks and sacrifice for the things that you love, you learn to value the work and the things that you went through. um, and to really see what it was all for. Because for me, going to college was not easy. A lot of people didn't. I slept in my car for school. I was really hungry in school. It was either like, am I going to put this in my car, or am I going to eat today? And on top of that was school work, and then I'm helping run the department, working in the department and doing things in class. So it was a very challenging time for me. And now that I'm out of school, I wasn't really prepared for life after college. It was a big adjustment because when you're in college, you have things to do, you're busy. It's just a different environment. Um, and then when I'm out, it's just like, oh shit, okay, what am I gonna
Reality
do?
smack you in
I
the
gotta figure
face.
it out. And
Yeah.
it wasn't even easy to get a job with my degree. I still haven't been able to get a job with my degree. I didn't really go to school to get a job. I went to school to have something to do, honestly.
Yeah.
I was already creating music and doing the things that I wanted to do before I went to school. I was already in a band, and I was in the band for almost 8 years by that time when I went to college. I was already experiencing things and meeting people and pursuing my career before I went to college. But when I went to college, it was a different chapter for my life, of focusing on me and what I want, find my identity and my voice and my sound. And that's why Purple Love is so important to me, because it's the first project where I get to tell my story, and it's all mine.
Absolutely. That's great. Nah, I mean it's funny because Bloomfield I always found to be very unique in the sense that at least the cat department where we come from, essentially creative art and technology, I always found that building Westminster to be so strange and unique in the fact that everybody came there and it's like we all knew that we wanted to do something in the artistic field, but we were all kind of like in this mode where we're just excited about creating and meeting other people and like going from upstairs in the second floor in the music department downstairs to the video production room and working on a music video. And you just had such a really cool mix of people that were just ambitious and just had these bigger than life dreams, and we all kind of came from that world. And I think that that's great because I think that if you dream small, like really, where are you going to head? Where are you going to end up? You know what I mean? I think if we set our bar really high for what we're trying to achieve, then like you said, we're always looking forward. We're always looking to push the boundaries, do something different. You know,
Mhm.
um, one of the cool things as well about like where we come from, considering the fact that out of college, we kind of run into a lot of walls. Our degree doesn't do as much for us as we thought it would. It's really challenging to balance trying to still be creative and trying to pay loans or live life or whatever. So I think we all started to kind of inherently create our own spaces, and that's something that you did where you are now in Newark. You created this really dope, unique space that that people can come to and perform and record and do all these things. And I just want to hear you. What do you think about that type of environment and the necessity of having those type of places to go?
Um, I think having those type of environments is detrimental to if you grow as an artist or if you struggle while growing as an artist. I mean, you're always going to go through something when there's something that you love and want. But for me, I found it helped me a lot to have an environment where I can grow, a space where I can make mistakes, I can be ugly, I can see my power and learn to control it. A place where I can be uninhibited to let myself out, and then work on it. A lot of people are just go out and do these shows and work on themselves by just putting themselves out there. And then they have to, fix it. But, I don't think a lot of people should, I think you should work on yourself before you put yourself in front of people. When you're trying to be something, you say that you are something. I think you need to work on yourself and your identity and your confidence when you're performing. Everybody don't need to see your mistakes and see you trying to figure it out. Enjoy the time to figure you out. you know, and figure how to express yourself. And I had that with the band, and I'm very grateful for that experience because a lot of people don't get that. I was 17 in a band of everybody in their 30s, 40s, some people was in their 50s, and I'm in bars and like all types of places, and I'm just experiencing life. I'm in the woods, you know, we're in rock bands, you know, I'm going in like, and I just was I'm very grateful. I was shown a lot of things. I got to tap into so many different sounds and vibes and in state of mind. You know, I don't see genres. I see state of minds. I see, you know, it's spirits. You know, so with the band, I tapped into a lot of rock and roll, jazz, trip hop, whatever. We just let ourselves go. So it was an amazing 8 years, and to be young and to have that opportunity to learn. I had to learn how to like when to stop singing, when to sing. Like I was just going on. They'd be like, Sqootie, shut up. You know, it got to me like, Sqootie, you're doing too much. Like you're singing too much. Like you gotta let the music breathe. You know, like I had to learn that. And a lot of times I learned how to write songs because like we'll be performing and then like a string will break. And like we'll be at like we used to perform every month at the Crossroads in Garwood, I think it is. Garwood or I think so. It's somewhere in New Jersey.
Okay.
Crossroads. And like we perform every month and a string would break and then like, Sqootie, do something. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm already not supposed to be in there. And like I'm just like, oh my God. Cause like I have to do something. I'm like, what am I gonna do? So that's how I learned how to like freestyle and stuff. I'll just start ripping it, like, you know, and I don't wanna fuck up. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh my God, y'all put me on blast. Like that's how I learned how to just think on my feet, and he'll just play some music, whatever. And I was just making songs to whatever they was playing. And I would just do that for like the night. Like for gigs, and then we'll just record it, and then we'll be like, well, that's the song, and then we'll, you know, and we're just like, whoa, because it's just like such a ride. Like we're just tripping balls and playing the music, and like after it's done, it's always a moment of silence in wherever we go, and then it's like, woo, you know.
Yeah, it's like did they like it?
How psychedelic and gritty, bluesy, rocky. I can't even explain it, but nice. Yeah, it was a good time with the band. So I learned a lot of genres from them and from just pulling my weight and learning.
Nice. I mean that's kind of like the way that any great artist gets their start. You know, they just take a chance and they just, you know, earn their stripes on the road or in shows and bars and just learn what it's like to deal with, you know, an issue that comes up in a set, you know, and how you get around it and how you keep the energy of the crowd going, you know, in those moments. And that's how we find out the type of artists we really are in those moments. You know, anybody can just memorize a set and just go up there and, you know, do whatever. But when you have, like you said, a string break or an amp cuts off or power cuts off, you know, it's like, how do you keep that crowd in that moment? You know?
I mean, it's a whole growing experience. And even just for me, like being the only female, I'm used to most of the time being the only female around a lot of men. And, you know, it's all types of guys and personalities. So, you know, you have to deal with that and stuff. But, you know, no one really fucked with me, you know, because, you know, it's up to you which one of me you get, you know, dirty jurors anyway. But, you know, I just had a great time learning a lot. Basically, I learned a lot. I got to just chill in the basement. You know, I didn't even get on the mic for a while when I met them. Like, I would just sit in the basement and like all these rappers and stuff would just come through and they'll just be making so much music. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like all these sounds, like all these people, you know, and then eventually I just start getting on the mic, just writing hooks for people, you know, and doing stuff like that. Like, you know, and just always writing music. So I learned a lot how to create by just expressing myself, whatever I feel, whatever is on my mind, just you to just let it go.
There you go. Nah, man, I feel you. You know, like, do you remember having like those freestyle rooms we used to have in Bloomfield, like in the live room? Like everybody was just, I forget what it was. It was what Peter
Music.
Gordon.
It's called music improvisation class, because I used to assist Peter Gordon in his classes. So it was like pulling teeth out the students to get them to participate. So I would have to participate. So sometimes I'm just like, oh gosh, because I didn't want to participate. You know, I'm just trying to help the class, but it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be like that person where it's like, all right, they know I can sing, you know, but I'm just, all right, here we go. So I had to sing, then I'm walking around singing, talking to the people. I'm picking up the instruments, passing them like, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. You know, just whatever. And then like, you know, I just wanted to show them that everyone has something to add, no matter how little it is. If you just do one clap like this, we could build off of that.
For sure. Absolutely.
But wherever you are at, we can meet you. And that's what the class was about, is learning how to get rid of your inhibitions and your insecurities to be able to be part of the collective. Absolutely. With still being an individual.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to Peter Gordon, man. Like I used to love being in that class. That was such a dope time. That actually helped me a lot as well. Kind of like, you know, I was pretty closed off as a musician. You know, I had come off of being in my high school band and I had stepped into Bloomfield without any of them there. So it was like my first time as an individual artist, you know, being around people who've never heard me play. And I had a lot of hiccups and little insecurities about the type of musician I was. And I really learned how to kind of just let go in that environment and kind of just say, hey, look, whether you like it or not, this is what I have. And usually, like you said, kind of it's not the individual sound, it's the sound we make as a unit, it's how we make it together, you know, that you just build upon. And we always walked out of that room with such energy and so like hype about possibilities.
Yeah.
That was such a great time, man.
It was awesome.
So, you know, before we go, I just wanted to know, like, you know, do you have anything to say to the people that just, you know, a word of inspiration for our viewers and just kind of something comes straight from the heart, you know, something that fully encompasses you as a person?
Just don't give up. Do what you do, but love it. Love what you do. And be selfless in it.
Thank you so much, Sqootie, for those words of inspiration. They're beautiful. Make sure if you want to check out Sqootie Jackson, you check out all the links we provided down below. Check out the EP Purple Love, available on all streaming platforms right now, and check out the On My Mind video available right now. Before we go, we want to make sure you're aware. CnU 2.0 is coming out this summer. We do not want you to miss it. We also don't want you to miss the opportunity to win 1 free year of elite membership. All you got to do is sign up for the app. And if you're already signed up, you're in. So good on you. Make sure you go to www.CreativesNearU.com, download the app, check out all the great things we have coming your way. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the bell, give us a like, leave a comment, all those great things you do with YouTube videos. As always, I'm Chris. Make sure you always connect, collab, and create.